لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك حجا حقا تعبدا ورقا لبيك مرهوبا ومرغوبا إليك لبيك ذا النعماء والفضل الحسن لبيك وسعت.
Thank you, Munawwar bhai. Next is our guest of honor, Munawwar by Rattansi, Vice President, World Federation.
Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nazim Co-President Glambas by Najfi, GSCC President Ali Raza Bhai Rajani, our Guru Hasnain Bhai Walji, respected scholars, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Our condolences to all the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam and to our awaited Imam Zamana, the Hujjat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this universe, on the wafat of 6th Imam, Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
On behalf of the World Federation, I take this opportunity to thank you most sincerely for inviting me to attend opening of this marvelous Hajj exhibition. This exhibition and others before set within the Mullah Asghar Resource Center, which forms part of this grand Jafri Community Center, is truly inspirational and visionary. It brings into reality the very idea of a place to impart knowledge, to carry out tabligh, and to be a source of information of Islam and its pristine message. And so inshallah, not only to the members of this community, but to the world outside. This surely deserves our immense gratitude and appreciation to first and foremost members of the Jafri Community Center of Toronto for their perseverance, hard work, and sacrifice to bring about the center. The community also owes a debt of gratitude to our Guru, Hasnain Bhai Walji, who was instrumental from the infancy all the way to construction stage to the final completion. He is still gung-ho about making sure that not only does the Resource Center thrive and move to greater heights and be a center of pride and joy for the community, but also not be a burden to the community. In other words, make it self-sustainable. We pray for his success, and let me assure you that World Federation will continue to support in whichever way it can. Hasnain Bhai has spent immense amount of time, energy, lobbying, arm twisting, all possible means imaginable to bring this resource center into reality. From the vision of setting up a library in the memory of a great leader, Hasnain Bhai and his team have transformed this resource center into not only a place of tranquility that only a library can give, but to enjoy the environment, the experience, and soak up the knowledge in various forms in both print and in digital format. World Federation is also grateful to Nasimco, and especially to Glambas Bhai Najfi and his team for their cooperation, advice, and services to ease the workings involved between various parties concerned. Thank you, Glambas Bhai, and rest assured we will continue to seek your advice. We who are not lucky enough and do not live here can only marvel from far and watch with envy at this resource center, in particular the Jafri Community Center in general. I must say this sort of setup has long been overdue in the community and highlights the progress of our communities, which have made from the first migration from the subcontinent and then from Africa. Inshallah, now that Hasnan Bhai has gone through the intricacies of dealing with various elements of the Khoja community, he can start his project in India, which I'm sure will be a walk in the park. I would now like to touch on the personality on whose name the Resource Center has been named. Late Mullah Asghar was a unique personality in our Khoja community. We were blessed to have had his presence amongst us, and whose passion for imparting knowledge, religious knowledge, and being a tireless community worker has remained unmatched to this day. What his father, his grandfather, and other members of his family were renowned for the love of learning and propagating Islam. Mullah Sahib was mastering Arabic and Farsi alongside learning Islamic studies during his youth, while also being involved in family activities. In World Federation as a president, he brought awareness of the plight of our forefathers and our roots in India, and supported both Khoja and non-Khoja families up and down India. Mullah Sahib was instrumental in bringing together the diaspora, small community of barely over 150,000, spread out from the western shores of the Pacific to Hong Kong and Australia in the east, that at one stage risked losing its identity, has now emerged as an organized and united community, working together to renew links with each other and extend cooperation to other communities in the spirit of Islamic brotherhood, friendship, and relations. We have discovered our common identity and renewed all links for the better future of our progeny. May we recite a Surah Fatiha for the Mullah Sahib and all the Maromeens. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. World Federation has been around close to now 30 years and has evolved dramatically. But the bottom line has always been, we exist to serve. I will now try and give you a little idea of what World Federation is all about. Currently, our main priorities are threefold. It's the implementation of the Madrasa Center of Excellence. This is a move that will eventually, inshallah, bring about a global perspective of an institution that we all love and care, and have been exposed in one form or another since our childhood. Why should a child living in a small town in, say, Tanzania, not have the same standard of madrasa education as one, let's say, in Toronto? Inshallah, with the global curriculum, the resource portal, teacher training, and with assessment and evaluation, we will inshallah get there. Eradication of poverty within the Khoja communities, especially the ones living in Africa, in the next 15 years, and linking our community. Over and above this, there's a huge amount of work that goes on in health, in education, in international relief and development, in Islamic education, Zainabia child sponsorship, and in family affairs. As we do every year, this year's Ramzan Relief Fund was a huge success, and we ran it in conjunction with Nasinko, with COEG, Africa Federation, and Pakistan Federation, and a record amount was raised to aid deserving families grappling with poverty. The distribution was across 17 countries in the form of food baskets, iftar, cash gifts, debt clearances, and healthcare provided to over 120,000 men and women, orphans, widows, seniors, disabled, living in Afghanistan, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Tanzania, just to mention a few. This record amount was only possible with the generous support of you all and members of the communities up and down the world. There were Children Helping the Children campaign, the Donate a Sandwich campaign, Amma Yujibo campaign for all those suffering in this current political upheaval. In conclusion, We are also very grateful to the Hirji family for making this vision of the Resource Center into a reality. Their generosity played a huge role from the beginning to the end, and still continuing to make sure that it be set up on a secured footing. What you see today, and all of us who are filled with a feeling of wonderment, was made possible largely due to the tireless efforts of hands-on approach of Raza Ali Bahirji. However busy he was, he always had time for not only for this center, but for all the other projects. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to shower success, blessings, and tawfiqat, and guide in the path of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, and may they be rewarded not only in this world, but in the hereafter. Once again, congratulations to our standby and his team for this marvelous undertaking and delivering to the community a piece of art that for generations to come will remember, and thank you for it. Keep it up. Lastly, thank you all for according me the courtesy of listening to me. And let us take a moment and pray for the safety of all who are being oppressed and persecuted in the world. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His utmost mercy, bring about peace and tranquility to all troubled lands. Please recite Surah Fatiha for all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Munawwar bhai. I think you're in a really good mood today. Cash coffers are looking good. This center needs a little bit more help before we go to England. And last but not least, the man of the hour, the guru, the brains behind it all, Haskan Bhai Balji.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Respected scholars, Munawwar Bhai, Ghulam Bhai, Ali, my friends, my young friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ali started, my good friend Ali started with his iPhone. And then Munawwar Bhai came up with an iPad. I have a book. And I'm going to read you from it. So, yes, when you're taking a long flight from here to maybe Dubai on Etihad Airlines, when the stewardess says, take a deep breath, relax, and sit back. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you all for gracing this occasion, and we're truly delighted to have all of you here in such good numbers. And I was really humbled by the words that have been spoken in terms of what we've been able to achieve. And I must acknowledge the presence of the Vice President of the World Federation, who has taken the time to travel all the way from London to grace this occasion, particularly for the opening of the Hajj exhibition. We have been waiting for the last 18 months to be graced by the presence of the officers of the World Federation. Alhamdulillah, our wishes have come true. Thank you so much, Munawwar Bhai, for gracing the occasion. Let us say a loud Nare Salwa for the work that the World Federation does, and we offer our congratulations to Munawwar Bhai on behalf of all of us, that we truly salute the work of the World Federation that he has just inaugurated. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
those words said, obviously we have many other people who have assisted. Lack of time does not permit me to go into the detail of everyone who has contributed to this. To all of those who I have not named, I say thank you so very much, Asante sana, shukran, for assisting us with this exhibition. And without further ado, inshallah, we will now watch the movie that we are all come here for. The idea is to understand the spirit of Hajj. And you know, when we fly in our business class cabins to go to Jeddah and then being whisked from Madinah al-Hujjaj to move on to Medina or perhaps directly to Makkah, we need to realize the trials and tribulations that those Hujjaj went through. And when we do our 5-star Hajj and our 5-star Umrah, it gives us a reality check as to where we truly are at. So, in the end, I came here with this book with a purpose. I launched this book on Thursday night. This is a book, it's called The Endangered Species. This is a book about the history of the Khoja Shia Ithnashi Muslim community for the last 600 plus years. What you see here is what we call the Khoja wall. This has been hidden not because it's a secret, but we need to see the movie. But otherwise, we have a map of migration of this community of 125,000. According to Munita and Federation Samachar, we increase ourselves to 160,000, whatever the case may be. It is this small community, which is part of the 200 million Shias around the world, that is considered amongst the most progressive and the most active of the communities within the Shia world, of which we as Khojas are proud and also humbled to say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us those blessings and gifts to be of service to community and humanity, as we heard from Munawwar to say that be it Myanmar, be it anywhere else, the Khoja community is out there to serve. Meaning this is the history of that community. The books are available out there. They normally retail for $25. We're selling this for $20. Brother Haider Jafar there, who is the son of the author, Hassan Bhai Jafar, who has spent almost 7 to 10 years to research this book. When I look at it, this is more than 2 PhDs. Believe you me, the number of references that we have, the period and the span it is, those academics will realize the value of this title. Please do partake of a copy and read and look at the development and the idea of how a community develops in the way that it does, and the sacrifices given. Those 2 gentlemen that you see down there, killed in 1901, they died, they gave their life. Hirji Bhai Alarake and Lalji Sajan, they gave their lives. So today we can sit here and call ourselves Shia Ithna Ashiris. That was the man, Haji Ghulam Ali Haji Ismail, who was instrumental in bringing us to our faith. I mean, there is much more, and I'll tell you how this book is impacting. Today, in Pakistan, the Shias are being persecuted. They are being killed by the numbers. Nobody spoke for them. Nobody spoke up for them until, by political ambitions, Altaf Hussain, who is the president of MQM, actually said that killing Shias is like killing Pakistan, because Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Qaid-e-Azam, was a Shia Ithnashi. And there was a furor in Pakistan. We were approached by the MQM, and a chapter in this book, which not only says that Jinnah was a Shia Ithnashi, but the book actually proves without any doubt whatsoever that Muhammad Ali Jinnah was actually a Khoja Shia Ithnashi, the founder of Pakistan. And this book, a monograph from this book, is now being transcribed, and it is going to be distributed by MQM to put this argument to bed once and for all, that Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Qaid-e-Azam, the founder of Pakistan, was a Shia Ithnashi. We added to that, and we insisted that you publish the monograph with the condition that you call him Muhammad Ali Jinnah, a Khoja Shia Ithnashi luminary. And actually the photograph is in this book, where Muhammad Ali Jinnah is actually attired in typical Khoja attire. And that's what the cover of the book is going to be. So, Mu'mineen, this is a community which has such luminaries, and our young people need to understand where we come from. If we do understand, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created people in tribes, in cultures. The idea is that we need to be proud of our culture, not arrogant, but be proud, be humble by what we have, and hold on to this pearl that we have, meaning that we hold on to our identity, our culture, and are able to exist as a community. And the Mullah Asghar Memorial Center market, we shortly call it, has been dedicated for the propagation of Islam, at the same time for the propagation of the culture, and that is why you see this entire wall here, which is what we call the wall of the Khoja Shaykh Nurseries. With that said, and now I'll get off my soapbox and we can go and watch the wonderful movie by Ibn Battuta, and I'll hand this back to Shafiq Bhai. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.